My name is Adrianna Harris, and I am Dwight's oldest cousin.
My name is Lee Harris. My relationship with Dwight, that's my wife's cousins, but that's my cousin Dwight.
Oh my God, we used to, back in the days when he had his little afros, probably about 6, 7, 5, all of us, all of our cousins together would play in San Francisco, Myanmar, at his house, in Grandma's house. So we come a long way, and he's always protected all of us, even though he was the youngest out of all the girls, because it's a whole bunch of girls. But he always stood out. He always protected us. He's always this little sweetheart. And we beat him up sometime, pick on him. But rather than that, he always took care of us. we had good homes. Our families worked. A lot of them worked at the Muni or had their own businesses. And we all collaborated all together all the time. As a family, we would go to each other's house. Sometimes our cousin Davina would babysit all of us. Not sometimes, pretty much all the time. She was one of our oldest cousins, and she would babysit all of us. So we would be at her house, or it would be at Grandma's house, or it would be at our house. So we always spent a lot of time together. But our downfall of a lot of our parents is that they had a big background in drug use. So it influenced us a lot, especially alcohol, heroin, cocaine. So it was in our home. So we've seen it. So it's not surprising that a lot of the family members kind of went out. But as a whole, as a family, we still always had good times. So we had the opportunity to see that, but in all the influence in the back and, oh, here, take a drink at 12 or 13 wasn't something that was surprising. But a lot of us overcame it and some of us didn't. But growing up as a child, Dwight was he had always been a good guy. Just a good kid, just to be around, play at the playground, try to protect us, everybody. He was always the type of person to be protecting us. It was a little park around Grandma's house, and we used to be in that little park, and sometimes be a lot of kids. And of course, Dwight, by being the only guy there, young kid, so he was always trying to make sure he show his strength. So it was just, he's always been there no matter what. As a kid coming up, we missed some gaps, but still, as soon as he came back, first person picked up the phone. I'm one of the first person. He called me 2 a.m. in the morning. And we always been pretty close. And I never really judged him like that. I'll just probably get on him about things, but I never really judged him because I always knew in the back of my mind that he was a good person. And I knew that he would make other, when he came into our lives and to my kids' lives, the ones that didn't know him, they love him. They love him to death, not even knowing everything that he was going through at that time. They still love him to death, So I think he called me one of the people is because he knew I was close and he knew I would respond or give him whatever he needed at that time. Dwight has always been kind of reserved, and he would hide. It's impacted a lot of people when he wanted to get high and he was trying not to. That was the only time that his mood would kind of change, and that's when he would get into conflicts with us or other people in the family. So we didn't like that, but giving up on him, never. Just that's the only time he just would get in those moods, and I knew that he was going through withdrawals and then trying to hold off so he could go out there, or trying to sustain from not getting high. And but through all that, he still tried to do what he had to do, and sometimes his emotions and his anger would get to him, but never something that would make me dislike him or not love him anymore.
Being sick and being on drugs, that's a different thing, you know, it's a whole different thing to be in. You know, we know that people were ill from that bad pretty much stuff that they put in their body or whatever. It's not doing well. It's really it's not doing good. You know, people won't be happy. You know what I'm saying? People won't be happy, and pretty much kids start seeing all that type of stuff. You know, we still have a few younger kids, but then they see how he is now from where he was until where he's coming. So it pretty much hurts your family. But once you see them get past that, you know, it's a blessing that we can see him get back on his feet and be the man that he's supposed to be, that I expect him to be.
It's happened a lot in our family. So we have a lot of people that's like that. It's sad to say that, but we do. And probably not his parent, his dad or his mom or his uncle or something, like our uncle and stuff like that. Probably not that, but a lot of the older people spent a lot of time in jail. And then we had a few of the younger guys and girls that spent a lot of time in jail. So yeah, I think the ones that out there in the world, probably not. The ones that are close to him and want him to be a part of us, yes. But the majority of them, probably no.
They're always going to be on the fence until they really see it going out. Because like they say, you can always say, they doing this, they doing it, then they go right back. They go right back. You know, so you expect the time for him to go back. Like a lot of people probably expect him to go back to the way he was, but he's not going back. He's going forward. And that's real good.
Nothing is surprising to me about Dwight. I know he could do it. I know who he is. So my biggest thing right now is where he's going. And it just brightens my heart every time we talk or when we spend time together. And it makes me know that he's trying. And I know how hard it is. Every day is a different day for him. Because I know how it is for me to stop eating chocolate. So I can imagine, I've never drank or smoked, but I can imagine how that journey is. And I also have a friend that's been clean for like 22 years. And she tells me, Adrianna, it's always there and never goes away. And the thing is when I look at him and I see the steps that he's taken, this is like, this is where I knew you could have been 20-something years ago, 30-something years ago, because he's always had that joy about him. And he always had God there. He just wasn't putting him first. He wasn't letting him lead. And he's letting him lead now more so than ever. So he sees all potential and God is letting him walk. As God takes that step, he's taking that step. And that's what I've been waiting for. But I'm not surprised. I'm just proud of him.
It's really not a surprise because I knew Dwight could be a good person. He was always a good person. He always cared about people. You know, I'm surprised he got the elevator job. He's up crawling up and down these elevators. But, you know, he's happy. He's in a good place. And I'm very proud of him. You know, very proud of him.
A lot of people want to see him fail. Of course, they always think that, he's just the same old person trying to get over or something, trying to find a way to get high. But he's not.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, a lot of people still kind of mad at him, don't think that he's going to do it. You know, they think he's going to be turned back to the person he was. But in my eyes and what I'm seeing with Dwight, he's fully on track, ready to be somebody else. Like I told him, you can rebuild yourself and be a new person. And that's who Dwight is going to be. That's what he's pushing for. And I'm so proud of him. I love you, boy. Got you.
And the group of us that's the most important to him is what I am so proud of him for. Just keep going, because there's always going to be those ones in the background that always going to have something to say, and most of those ones are on that road saying, he tipping or something like that. But I'm glad that he is really trying, and just keep focusing on those ones that are there for you and let God lead you and those that are there for you, and then we'll work on the other ones. Until then, keep doing what you're doing. It's like a breath of fresh air. And I just tell God, thank you. Thank you. I always tell him thank you for the good and the bad. But right now where he is going is so it's just like grace has just touched us all over the place. And I'm just so happy for him, because as I see him walk, and even when we're with him and when we're not with him, and he calls us on the FaceTime, I see the joy he has. And I see that he just want to let us know, I'm good. And I asked him, I'm like, are you okay? You good? You gonna let me know? You good? And he's, I'm good. And he just says, every day, I'm trying something different. And, our family is always gonna protect him. And he has a bigger family that I appreciate so much. And I love our added family now.
Dwight, he talks about Arukah, and he talks about the people that's there, because I asked him how is the program. He tell me about the program, the people that's there was doing the same things that he was doing. So you know what I'm saying? Like he said that pretty much all the people there, he was, when he was in that dark spot, that he was trying to be on both sides of the fence. But then once he got over to Arukah, he was over there to see the people that he needed to be around, the people that had the same problems and the same things that he was trying to do. So that was pretty much the people we need to be around, to kind of like get that journey going and get to where he want to be.
I think he talks about Arukah so much. He talks about the men that's in his life, the people that are in his life, his church. I have never seen him be this happy. I have never seen him have so many brothers and sisters and mentors. I thank you guys for being his brother, his mentor, his friend, his enemy too. When he need to be popped sometime, it's always gonna be there, because you go through things, and it's a struggle. But he appreciates Arukah so much, and I do too.
From me and my family, I personally want to thank all the donors that donated to the cause, and everybody that took care of my cousin. I'm pretty sure that he's going to make you happy like he's making us happy. So God bless every single one of you. Okay, thank you from the bottom of my family heart and from all of us. Thank you very much.
I thank the donors. I appreciate you so much. I'm glad that the donors have God in their lives to help people like Dwight and others, because I see change in him and some of the others that I met too. I would love for it to keep growing, to help others out there that need help. And one day, a couple years down the road, I hope Dwight can be a big supporter too.